Hello YouTube and welcome to another exciting comic book review. This week I'm reviewing Marvel's Defenders #1. This book came out on Wednesday, June 14th, and I'll just get straight into the review. So Defenders #1 is, picking up on it's kind of picking up where the Netflix shows, kind of lead up to the Defenders show series, that's coming up. You have it's kind of heavy on Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, as opposed to Iron Fist and Daredevil, who are in there, but they're just kind of shoehorned in there, like not integral to the storyline really. It starts off because Diamond, I don't even know the character's name, Diamondback maybe, is has beat up Jessica Jones, and he's after Luke Cage, and he's also gotten into some altercations with Daredevil and Iron Fist as well. Sorry. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got his name right. I believe it is Diamondback, but I don't want to be wrong and sound like a complete idiot, which I already do because I don't know the character's name, even though I just read the story like 5 minutes ago. That pretty much sums up my week in comics, though, to tell you the truth. I had one issue that I really, really loved, and that was the Generation X issue. Other than that, it was pretty slim for me. Like, I read through Winnebago Graveyard. I really wanted to like that, and I just didn't. I felt like there was no story there. Old Man Logan, I haven't really followed that at all, and I was, excited about it because I was excited about the variant cover and stuff, and that was, I just didn't enjoy it. Kill the Minotaur, like, I didn't even finish that. Maybe it gets better, I don't know, but I was bored with it. So anyways, sorry to bring all these other books into it, but that's kind of this week in comics for me. Nothing stood out that much. Defenders #1 really didn't do anything for me. There was no setup. It wasn't like a good book for, every book is somebody's first comic, as, plenty of other places have, said before. And it's just not, like, for a #1, it's not a really good jumping on point. I know that a lot of people would have, some reference with these characters, based on their Netflix shows, or, even, Power Man and Iron Fist and Daredevil all have, rich history in the comics and everything. And, you would think that you'd be able to pick up bits and pieces of that, and I'm sure you can, but the problem is, in reviewing this single issue, especially as a #1, it just wasn't there. There wasn't anything compelling or world building or anything that even really set this up for me. Like, it didn't even seem like I saw a reason for them to come together and become the Defenders. It was just kind of like, oh, this same guy is, after us, so we're going to become a team and defeat him. They're superheroes. I know they're street level superheroes, but you're trying to tell me that Iron Fist can't take on this guy by himself, that Power Man can't handle him, Daredevil. I just don't like it. I just don't buy into that. Like, it doesn't seem like it just didn't seem like a threat. And I again, like, I do understand what they're going for with the street level appeal, and and with the history of the Defenders and stuff like that, and what is going on with those characters and their current continuity and stuff, but it just didn't seem real enough. Real enough is a crappy way to review a comic book. It didn't seem, the stakes didn't seem real enough. They didn't seem high enough. It didn't it didn't do anything. I don't know. It seemed like it just didn't seem like it has the potential to really go anywhere. And I hope that that's not the way that the Netflix series is. I hope it's a little better than this. I'm sure translated to, the screen, it's probably different. It's probably a little bit better as opposed to, reading dialogue in the comic and stuff like that. And, what we're limited with artwork and dialogue. But it was very one-dimensional. It was very, okay, here's this guy out here, this killer or villain or whatever you want to call him, and he's after Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. And they're going to team up to defeat him. Just seems really hollow. It just seems like there's nothing there. So that's my opinion of it. The art was okay. The art was better than the story. I feel like I've said that a few times now in reviewing. So I'm going to say, story-wise, I'm going to give it a 2. And art, I'm going to give it a 2.5. Overall, I give the book a 2.5. It's not bad. It's just very middle of the road, and that's how I grade. Like, if I'm going, from, 0 to 5.0, for me, 2.5 means that it's a comic book. It's something that can be classified as a comic book that is something you can read and look at the artwork, and it's not overly enjoyable or horribly bad, but it's just a comic book. That's really all I have to say about it. Defenders #1 is just a comic book. Hopefully something really cool happens in Defenders issue #2, to change my mind on that, but for me that's all it was. It's very middle of the road. So that's my review on it. I would have loved to, like I said earlier, review, Generation X that came out this week. That was really good. That's been really good. What is this, the 3rd issue, I think, of that, and it's just been awesome. But I don't want to keep reviewing the same series and stuff like that over and over again, especially things that I really enjoy. I just kind of want to pick a book each week and review it, so there's something different out there, regardless of my opinion on it. And I would love to hear if anybody had, similar or different opinions. If anybody really enjoyed this book, I would like to hear about it. Maybe I could look at it in a different way. Just let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Thanks.